Fellow congregation members of the church, all people do this here, and the evil, rotten, decrepit, low down, despicable, phenomenal monster. I realize that monsters like this do not have a place in heaven. And I also realize that hell simply will not have them because they don't want a motherfucker like this trying to take over. Pardon my language. But it must be said.
It's another beautiful day to be a raider, draped in the silver and black. I represent the shield. I represent the swords. It's that time of night again, Raider Nation. And you come back. Why? Because it's time. It's time to bring the...
What's up, Raider Nation? I am the Commish, coming to you live, as always, from the friendly confines of Hardcore Challenge Live Studios. And just where is that, might you ask? Well, shit. Let me give you some simple directions, shall we? Because everybody needs a good landmark, especially this late in the evening. You know, you've probably been into, everybody's still quarantining half-assed, and unless, you're not. Which means you're probably into the adult beverages, the herbal refreshments, so you need a good landmark. Everybody needs a good landmark, right? Well, we're just down the street, past the house with the boarded up windows. Make sure you stop at the corner and ask my man Joe. He's a gentleman, he's a scholar, but motherfucker's got mouths to feed. Slip in what you should. He'll point you in the right direction. He's gonna tell you to take a left and then a right. And as you find yourself strolling down the street, minding your own goddamn business, a cool breeze will hit you that chills you right to your skeletal core, and you'll find yourself asking, was that the autumn wind? You goddamn right. Should you venture down that deep dark alley? Well, of course you should, because what you're gonna find at the end is a special little place that we like to call deep behind the enemy line. This is Raider Reaction, and as it is every Tuesday on Raider Reaction, it's the Raider Nation Report with yours truly. A solid 60 minutes of everything silver and black. And we got a little to get into. We'll try to keep it on the road. We'll probably get in the ditch at least 3 or 4 times over the course of the evening because, it's just what happens. It's a goddamn hour, It is what it is, By the end, you want to choke somebody sometimes, but let's hope it doesn't get to that point. All right, moving along. The biggest news of the day today on, what is it, June 16th, 2020, the year of, my God, what a year 2020's been. I tell you, it's something else. But the biggest news today, Pro Bowl 2021. Now, it's not very often that I make a proclamation and it comes 100% true. And not like this was a Nostradamus call, because it was, if you had any fucking common sense and, any path of logic, you could see that this was a perfect marriage. The Orlando, the ESPN Wide World of Sports, where the Pro Bowl had been over the last 3 seasons, had come to an end last year. Everybody knew that. It was up for a new site. I said, Vegas is perfect. That, number one, it happens in February. There's only a certain number of NFL or sites that could house an NFL function like the Pro Bowl. And it's they didn't like it in Hawaii because it's travel issues. A lot of fans didn't go. They wanted it in the States, so it was easier for fans as a whole to be able to go. And so that's why they'd put in Orlando. And I went the last 3 years. It was amazing. Had a fucking blast. Took my son. If you've never been to the Pro Bowl experience, the game, fuck the game. Who gives a shit about the game? But it's all about the Pro Bowl experience and everything you get to do there. So if you haven't went, definitely got to check that out. But the fact that the news today came out, the fact the news came out from, the NFL communications. Pro Bowl 2021, this year's Pro Bowl is in Las Vegas. Now, I'd called this last year when they announced they weren't going to put it back into Orlando for another season. And Vegas is perfect. At that time of the year, it's obvious, it's not cold, it's not snowing. You can have all of the outdoor events you want. And obviously, it's the entertainment capital of the world. You've got everything else there. So, it's perfect. It's perfect. So, I'm super happy. We lost the draft that was going to be in Vegas this season. The 2020 draft, which was going to be huge for the new home of the Raiders, and it's going to be big, man. It was going to be epic. You've seen how big it was in Nashville last year, and to see what Vegas was already planning, it was going to be amazing. We were going to be there. We actually had tickets and everything set up. We were working on media passes through the NFL communications, and it all fell through like it did for everybody else. The draft didn't happen. So they're going to be putting a Super Bowl there in the very near future to make up for that, and the Pro Bowl will be there this year. So it's going to be very interesting to see how they handle the Pro Bowl experience and all that it is in Vegas. It's going to be something else. It was very cool at the ESPN Wide World of Sports the last 3 seasons. It's an amazing facility. It's got all the fields that you would ever need, because along with, it's not just the NFL players. The Pro Bowl and all of the days leading up to the Pro Bowl it's the flag football championships, the big tournament from all of the kids from all over the nation come there for flag football, and they have that championship crown there during the Pro Bowl. So all those games are going on, and the NFL players are helping coach and ref it and what have you, and they're involved in it. And they've got all kinds of activities. They have the live practices that you can be involved with, and it's all free. It's amazing. Nothing's fucking free. And it's all free. All except for like the little special things like the pro or the quarterback challenge that they have on the one evening. I think you got to get a ticket for that. But just to go there during the day, it's a blast. So it's very cool that it's going to be in Vegas for this year's Pro Bowl. Raider Reaction will be there in probably a large capacity, covering it for like we have the last several Pro Bowls. So it's very cool that the silver and black highlighted in the Pro Bowl this year. Also highlighted in the news today, the silver and black, as I mean it should be. I mean, Madden, the name is now synonymous with video games, obviously video game football, just like the Madden challenge that we just finished up here on Raider Reaction. But, you know, obviously it's John Madden. I mean, he's the godfather of video game football now, and, you know, he is and only is a Raider. So at the beginning of the new Madden, the trailer that they came out, and in the beginning of the game, supposedly there's a big highlighted feature of the Allegiant Stadium, which is very cool. So the fact that it's highlighted right at the beginning, very cool, very cool. So that also a little silver and black blast in the headlines today. Remember, if you haven't followed us on Instagram, Twitter, subscribe to our YouTube channel, as well as check out the website, RaiderReaction.com. And if you haven't joined the official group of Raider Reaction, it's real, it's raw, it's uncensored, just like our freaking shows. You can voice your opinion about the team that you love without some fucking admin tapping you on the shoulder and telling you can't say that. Join the dark side. Click on the group tab here on the Raider Reaction Facebook page. The Raider Reaction, dark side, the Raider Reaction Empire, the dark side, the official group of Raider Reaction. Join it. Real, raw, uncensored. So, I wanted to talk running back today. Obviously, Josh Jacobs, in the 13 games that he played last season, rocking the Jacobs jersey today, I think he's going to have a gigantic season. Put a bold prediction up on the page earlier of where I thought Josh Jacobs was going to hit this season. I think he's a Pro Bowl starter in the AFC. I firmly believe that. I think you are going to see a healthy and determined Josh Jacobs this season, and I do believe he will be up near the top of the league in yards from scrimmage, rushing as well as throwing in, receiving the ball out of the backfield. I think you're gonna see Josh Jacobs take that turn here in this second season. I think he feels a little gypped by the way the first season finished up. He was 14th last year out of running backs in yards from scrimmage. A lot of guys ahead of him. Nick Chubb, Leonard Fournette, Aaron Jones, Austin Eckler, Joe Mixon, Miles Sanders. I mean, these aren't guys that I'm going to be talking about their names ahead of Josh Jacobs this year. Josh Jacobs should be high on your fantasy draft radar. If you are thinking running backs and you don't already have him in a keeper league, you should be thinking about Josh Jacobs. I'm telling you, this kid is going to have a phenomenal year this year. When you're looking at the guys, Christian McCaffrey is the guy up near the top who I think would probably challenge him overall for yards from scrimmage. Ezekiel Elliott, possibly, if he can get over the Rona in time enough for the season. He has it. I don't know how bad it is. It seems that a lot of people that are fairly healthy and get it don't have a lot of symptoms. They're just carriers. Sounds like some strange fucking sci-fi movie, man. There's spikes in that shit all over the country again. Fucking insanity. And you don't know, you just sit back and watch it and you're like, oh, well, I watched on the news and I read it on the computer. But, all of this could be contrived and this could all be some big fucking smoke and mirrors thing, some fucking big conspiracy thing. Who knows? Who knows? How would I ever fucking prove if it was? I ain't got the means. Fuck. I'd be dead probably before I even started to think about it. Somebody'd off me. Shit, I'm probably on a radar now just for saying that. My God. Wouldn't be surprised. Probably on a radar anyway, because I have a big fucking mouth. But, this is what it is. So, Josh Jacobs, I think this could be... When you're looking at career of a running back, an NFL running back, you've really got to get this juice out of the squeeze early in the career. And I believe with what you've seen last year out of Josh Jacobs, they are going to feed this kid this season, and you are really going to see him up in the 1,500-yard range rushing the ball. God knows where he ends up in the yards from scrimmage. Christian McCaffrey put up 2,392 yards from scrimmage. I think that might be a little stiff. He's the one I'm concerned about. Number 2 was 1,777 with Ezekiel Elliott. I think you're talking somewhere more in the realm of that. 1,700 to 1,800 yards from scrimmage yards for Josh Jacobs. I think he's going to be a huge key and a big focal point in this offense. Of course, you've got this wide receiver core that has been now bolstered, built back up, that you're hoping added with this running game that you now have, this effective running game. Man, what 1-2 punch that's going to be. The run sets up the pass sets up the run. It's football. It's like football ballet. It's how it's supposed to happen. So we'll see if that all comes together. You've got a lot of new moving parts that have been added in the wide receiving core. So we'll see. We'll see. What's up, Michael? What's up, everybody? Thank you for joining us, as always, for another edition of the Raider Nation Report. Michael, one of our top fans, says I never give him a shout-out, so I was going to make a personal point to give Michael a shout-out, Michael. And everybody else, but thank you all for joining me, as always. I appreciate you guys spending any second of your time here with us at Raider Reaction. Make sure you tune in tomorrow morning for the Raider Reaction morning show. We have a very special presentation tomorrow. You're not going to have to listen to my ass in the morning. We got something even better. Something way better than having to listen to me. The Raider Reaction morning show tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Eastern. Make sure you check it out. You trust me, you're going to want to see it. Put together something freaking awesome for tomorrow morning, and it'll just carry you through the day with some silver and black awesomeness and just inject it into your morning. So make sure you get after it tomorrow morning. I'm just telling you now. It's a slice of awesomeness. I was just previewing it before I came on, and hell, I was like, damn, let's see how fuck I'd sit and watch this shit. So trust me, you're gonna enjoy it, and I just know you will. I just know you will. Now, moving on, Josh Jacobs, my bold predictions. He's a Pro Bowl starter. 1,500 yards on the ground. He's going to hit 1,700 yards from scrimmage. And I believe he stays healthy all the way through the season this year. And you see that he can be the type of back that he showed us he can be last year. He got the bumps, man. He even tried to play hurt. But it got to the point where there was no reason to even risk anything happening to what looks like can be your franchise back when your season was starting to slip away. So I honestly think that's why he ended up kind of getting shelved at the end, because why risk it? Don't risk it if there ain't no biscuit, man. There's no goddamn point. There was a second there where you were standing at the doorway of relevancy in the playoff picture, and then somebody slammed that door in our face. But there was a moment when you were like, no. Yeah, I know, that's how I felt too. Ow. So Josh Jacobs, I think he's gonna have a big season this year, and I think he's as big a key to this 2020 season as all of the wide receivers and all of that all the other weapons that you've added. I think Josh Jacobs is a spark plug that makes this offense go, and he is. I really think they're gonna feed this kid big time in 2020, and he's gonna have some amazing stats. And he was on the verge of being a Pro Bowler last year. He was one of the alternates that could have been voted in, and we all know that he should have been the Offensive Rookie of the Year. I mean, the fact that he was snubbed is just retarded. What he did in 13 games compared to what the guy that got it did the whole goddamn time. Come on, man. Even Gardner Minshew deserved it more than the guy that got it. I mean, who Whose balls were getting diddled in the back room for that shit? I mean, come on, man. Seriously. Fucking horseshit. Now, there's been some other silver and black hitting the news here today, over the past couple days. Sebastian Janikowski was taken 17th by the Raiders in the 2000 draft from Florida State. He has been nominated for the College Football Hall of Fame. He is on the ballot. They're not the only silver and black sprinkled on this year's college football ballot. But, I mean, let's not skip past Seabass. He was 79.5%, 66 out of 83 in college. I mean, he was fucking damn near automatic as a Seminole, which is why we drafted him where he was drafted. It is a typical Al Davis pick. It's why they went and got him where they did. Now, there's other Raiders or guys that at least played in the silver and black sprinkled on this year's college football ballot as well. You've got former Raider wide receiver Willie Gault, Steve Wisniewski, Penn State offensive guard. Gault was a Tennessee wide receiver. USC quarterback Carson Palmer. He had a little skip with the Raiders there for a minute. Bob Golick. He played some time in the silver and black. You also have former Raiders head coach, USC linebacker Jack Del Rio on there, as well as Raider defensive coordinator, UCLA linebacker Ken Norton Jr. also nominated. They'll be officially inducted on December 7th, 2021. So those are the guys among 78 nominees for the ballot for the 2021 class of the College Football Hall of Fame. So Sebastian Janikowski, he's got to be a shoo-in, man. 79.5%. 66 out of 83. I don't have all of the stats up here for his college career, but I was curious as to the length of some of those. Because obviously, with a leg like him, he had to be part of the reason that he was drafted, not just his deadly accuracy. I mean, he was the Polish cannon, for Christ's sakes. I mean, the guy had a leg. He had a leg. That's for damn sure. He had a leg. Like Raider Ortiz said, see the Polish cannon. Like this, brother, like this. So, yeah, we're going to find out. So there's definitely some silver and black sprinkled in the College Football Hall of Fame. That is in Atlanta. If you haven't went, we were up. I checked out a small part of it last time on our summer trip through there when we stopped in Atlanta. It's on Centennial Park down with the park that they built for the Olympics. Actually, yeah, it's down there. So check it out. There might be some more silver and black sprinkled in there come the end of the year. So that's always good, man, to see some silver and black in the news. And I don't think it burnt down, but they did. It did take a shot. See, I didn't want to go there, Nancy. Why'd you have to go there? Why'd you have to go there? I didn't want to go there, but yes, there was some shit taken from it, and the front glass was busted out of it, but it wasn't burnt. It burn it down. Now, unless shit, maybe I don't know with what's going on now with the latest flare up in the Atlanta area over. Jesus, I don't even want to get into that shit, but my God, that's some Barney Fife ass shit if I ever seen it in my fucking life. Ah, damn. I hope not. That would be a goddamn shame, man. I mean, I'm a memorabilia guy, and that would be yeah, it was looted really bad. I did see that. But, you know, a lot of that stuff was in areas where they wouldn't be able to get to. But there was an area, like, right up front where if you just walked by, you could see it. So, yeah. But, you know, shit like that's irreplaceable. And that's the only thing the memorabilia. It just, you know, as a historian of sports and a collector, it just hurts my heart. You know, see something that you can't replace, like a Heisman or, you know, a fucking, you know, whatever. Moving on. Fucking, see, I told you, I get off in the ditch at least once or twice. There was way off in the fucking ditch there. Just fucking back on the road. Come on, God damn it. Oh, God. Jesus Christ, fucking shit. Good Lord. All right. Breakout star of 2020. If you had to pick a breakout star of 2020, who is your breakout star of 2020? Your breakout star. I've seen a lot of people say Hunter Renfrow. I've seen a lot of people say Tyrell Williams. I've seen a lot of people say Jonathan Abram, who we barely got to see last season. Maybe it's Trayvon Mullins. Kind of the breakout star last year, Darren Waller, tight end. The great bounce back, the feel-good story, all of that. Who's going to be your breakout star in 2020 that nobody expected? Well, he's injured currently a little bit. There, Raiders girl. He's a little banged up. So, Mr. Dreamy there, we've got a little early concern for him being 100% coming into this season. So, just saying. Brian thinks Abram. Michael thinks Ruggs. Ruggs, what I've heard, the leg thing is, it's moving in the right direction. It's not going to be a concern from what I've heard on the leg thing. So that's good. If you're a number one pick of an NFL team, you know, spring for a fucking couple kids to help your buddy move instead of you actually doing it. There's just, you know, you should just be a little more careful with yourself. That's all I'm saying. You know, I'm not saying you should live in a plastic bubble and shrink wrap yourself into nothing stupid, but shouldn't you just be a little extra careful and be like, nah, man, I probably shouldn't be helping you move and like carrying shit and like where I could like walking backwards or, you know, trip over something when I'm carrying shit and I can't see and step on the edge of a fucking paver and fucking blow my fucking Achilles or, you know, something stupid. I'm just saying, you know, shit like that happens, man. Like there was a kicker a couple years ago, Tampa Bay's kicker, I believe. It was Tampa Bay's kicker, and playing a pickup basketball game, and you know, playing hard like a charity basketball game, blew out his shit, and he ended up getting cut. And I don't think he ever got signed again. So at some point, you got to be a little careful with yourself. And I don't know. It just seemed like that was, I mean, I don't know the whole circumstances, but what the fuck you helping a motherfucker move for? Man, of all the people, you don't need to be helping nobody move. Shit, why the hell would they ask you? You ain't got somebody else you can ask? You gotta ask the number one fucking pick for the Las Vegas Raiders to help your ass move? Seriously? Just doesn't. Seems like a risk that you could take out of the equation, is all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. You know, like, nah, brah, I can't help you move. You know, cheap motherfucker, spring for the extra $50, have them deliver that shit. Just saying. Seems like a risk you can take out of the equation. Lessen the possibility. I know. Damn. Fuck do I know? Alright, moving on. I just feel like I'm all over the place today. Been tired, you know, drive all the way fucking like 8 hours the last 2 days. Just, it is what it is. You don't want to listen to my shit. Lynn Bowden Jr. There's a guy who could possibly be a big breakout star this season. I'm very interested to see how he is utilized. If you look on a lot of the projected depth charts, he's on the running back depth chart. I see him at number 2. I see him at number 3. I see Devontae Booker at number 2, and I mean, he's a Raider now, so I don't want to shit on him too hard, but Devontae Booker has really never done anything to excite me in the slightest bit. So seeing him, I would have just as soon kept D-Wash. Honestly, if I had the option of bringing Devontae Booker in or allowing DeAndre Washington to go become a queef, I'm keeping D-Wash and fuck Booker. I mean, so I don't think that was a great move, because a lot of depth charts, I see Booker plugged in at number 2. Now, I think Lynn Bowden Jr. is going to have something to say about that. I think Jalen Richard may have something to say about that too. But I think Richard has shown that he's not ever going to be your number 2. They like him in certain packages. They like him in certain schemes. They like him in certain situations. And he can be used in special teams as well. He's just a versatile guy. And he's earned the trust of the current coaching staff. And I think that's why Jalen is still there. But there's a reason why you brought in Lynn Bowden too. We've had the conversation for a couple seasons about the D-Wash and Richard, that they were very similar. But I thought over the past season and a half or so, you saw the two of them really start to become their own type of running back. I think it was a mistake to let DeAndre Washington leave the fold and stay in the division, especially for the team he went to. That's unfortunate. Not happy to see that at all. Unfortunate. Sucks. But, these guys are not every down backs. They are guys you throw in there when they think they're going to be a blocking back. They don't think they're going to be involved in the play. They have a lot. I don't know. They bring more to the table than Devontae Booker. I don't know. We'll see. Prove me wrong, Devontae. Prove me wrong. Come out, have a beautiful season. I'm concerned. I'm concerned that was the piece that we added to help bolster the running game. I mean, you added Lynn Bowden. I don't want to discount that. You added him to the tree, but I don't know. Devontae Booker, he was one of them that made me go, oh, this offseason. So, we'll see. But breakout stars. When you look at who it could be, man, I really think there's a strong possibility that it's going to be a wide receiver. I think the wide receiver core has the greatest possibility and is going to be thrust into the forefront early. And so I think they're going to have the most opportunity to become a breakout star. So we'll see. We'll see. It's going to be interesting. I see a lot of people saying Hunter Renfrow. Third and Renfrow last year. He was big in clutch situations. He started to come around, cut a lot of touchdowns towards the end of the year. So we'll see. We'll see. Tyrell Williams. I mean, I've heard people say this is his year. Well, it really needs to be. The jury's still out on Tyrell Williams for me. Still out on Tyrell Williams for me. Tannis Edwards. Brian Edwards is interesting. He's a very interesting guy this season, because when I talk about Tyrell Williams, the very next name that wants to roll off my tongue is Brian Edwards. And line says Zay Jones. I don't know about Zay Jones. Zay Jones is good for practice. Zay Jones didn't show me a lot last year. I hope you're right, Brian. I hope you're right. Is it Carr? Is Carr? I'm surprised nobody said it before Brian. I figured somebody would say it. Wouldn't you hope Derek Carr's the breakout player of 2020? That he has this amazing... But here's the thing. I think if the Raiders are successful this season, if your Las Vegas Raiders are successful this season, you're going to see a large emphasis placed on your running game and a lot of the ball taken out of the hands of Derek Carr. So I don't think you're going to see Carr and, 4,000 pushing up around 5,000 yards passing. I don't think you're going to see this big, 25 plus touchdown effort. I think his stats are going to be a little down this year. And all of the Carr stat boys who just run around and, that's all they've got to pin everything to. I think you're going to have a Derek Carr this season where the stats are down, but the W's are up. And isn't that really the only fucking stat that matters? I mean, winning's all that matters, baby. Just win, right? That's all that matters. So if the wins are up, but the stats are down because you've got a solid running game, that to me, I think breeds success, and that is your Las Vegas Raiders. So back to Brian Edwards, who Tana mentioned. He's interesting because, to me, when I look at the depth chart of wide receiver and the wide receiver tree, I plug him in basically sitting in the back pocket of Tyrell Williams. Now, somebody called me a hater on Tyrell Williams a couple shows ago because I've been critical of Tyrell Williams. Well, I'm not overly... You have to understand where my criticism of Tyrell Williams comes from. It doesn't come from the fact that he's not a talented wide receiver and he can't get the job done in certain... I know about his feet. I know about all the issues he had last year, blah, 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 blah. I get it. But your number one asset as a professional athlete's availability. You weren't available, so fucking, it is what it is. Fucking cry me a river. Why? I don't give a shit if your fucking feet hurt. I don't give a fuck if your feet hurt. Get out there, catch a fucking ball. We lost. So your feet hurt. But we lost. Did you get it? Okay. It's availability. So, Tyrell Williams, to me, he had to be the number one last year out of need, out of necessity, right? He's not a number one. He wasn't supposed to be the number one. We knew who was supposed to be the number one. It's not Tyrell Williams. It was that fucking douchebag with the dumbass haircut. That guy. The one tossing bags of dicks at people. That fucking douche. So Tyrell Williams already was put behind the 8 ball right out of the gate. Was never supposed to be the number one. Hey, we're going to bring you in and we're going to have one of the most prolific wide receivers the game has ever seen on the other side of the field from you. Fucking A! Shit! I'm going to be the number 2. The solid number 2. And even, I say a 2.5. That's not a bad thing. I think he can be used as a deep threat. He can stretch the field. I just don't think he's a 2. I think he's more of a 2.5. He's not a guy that's out there on every play. That's my knock on Tyrell Williams. I think he's a very talented wide receiver, and I think he could have a big year this year. But to me, he's a 2.5. So we still need that 2. So now if Tyrell Williams is that 2 to the Henry Ruggs III, who's the 1 now, in place of the fucking knucklehead who never fucking was a Raider with the stupid fucking haircut throwing bags of dicks. So now you got your number 1. If Tyrell Williams isn't your number 2 and he is actually a 2.5, not the number 2 that's out on the field all the time, then Brian Edwards, who's sitting in the back pocket, this is a guy that not a lot of people are talking about, and he all of a sudden could have the possibility, just out of being at the right place at the right time, a chance to shine early. Brian says Williams is nice. That's about all I got. See, that's what I'm saying. Is he's just not... I mean, he's been around the league for a minute. It's not like... And he's not been this guy that's just blown the doors off of people. He's just not been. But he wasn't supposed to be that guy. So, last year, he was hurt, and he was thrust into a position having to play way above his talent level. So, we'll see, man. We'll see. But Brian Edwards, Tana, who mentioned that, is very interesting. He's a very interesting player and could possibly be a breakout player. in 2020. A guy that just, really skyrockets. He's going to have the opportunity. All you need in this league are two things, man. Two things. Talent and opportunity. Those two things get coupled together. Everybody in an NFL uniform, all of them, all the way down to the jackass sitting at the end of the fucking bench. All of them have talent. All of them. What do we do? We lost a bowl. Oh, there we go. All of them have talent. Fucking screen moving. Jesus. Gremlins! It's gremlins in here. Fuck, it's just falling apart. God damn, fucking what the hell. Alright. It's a shit show. It's a total shit show. What am I gonna do? Sucker! Fuck. Throw it all at it. Fuck it.
He shoots. He scores!
God damn. I tell you what, it's been crazy. It's been crazy. Crazy. So now totally lost my train of thought, but it is what it is. But Tyrell Williams, Bryan Edwards, fuck. But you're talking to these guys, and this top heavy. We've got all these wide receivers. I'm sorry, man. Zay Jones, yeah, he looks cute in the practices with Carr, but breaking ankles against guys in shorts and t-shirts that are on your own fucking team. It's not the same. How many ankles you see Zay Jones breaking last year? No, the biggest worry was our wide receivers. Zay Jones was out there. He was one of them. So, I mean, he's a little couple notches on down the level. So, it's not the pool. You got a decent pool. Nelson Aguilar. I mean, he's another one of my from the offseason. He can fit in the mix, but he's not top heavy. He's not a number one. He's not a number two. He can fit in the mix. He can play special teams. He can return shit. He's fast. His hands are suspect. Suspect. Just saying. Hands are suspect. Rico Gafford. Fast. Fast, but gadget guy. Marcel Aitman. Come on. We've been waiting for Aitman for a couple seasons now. I mean, he's good depth, but he's not top tier. Not top tier. So, when you're looking at the top, Bryan Edwards, he could end up being just out of... If Tyrell Williams has any slippage, Bryan Edwards could be right there to be the number two. But I hope Tyrell Williams is the number two that we hope he can be. Because, I mean, that's where you're hoping. You got Ruggs, you got Tyrell Williams, you got Renfro in the slot, you got Waller at tight end, you got Josh Jacobs, who's going to be one of the elite backs in the league back there with Ingold blocking in front of him. Ingold's like a dinosaur, man. You don't see the fullback. He's the only fullback on roster, too. Alec Ingold is one of the most secure players on any NFL roster. He's like, yeah, nobody even challenged my job. Ingold was very, very underrated last year. Very, very underrated. He was one of the best guys, man, out of the rookie class that just didn't get a lot. He should have been a Pro Bowler. He really should have. He was an alternate as well, but he didn't make the cut. Just bullshit. Straight bullshit. Straight bullshit. So, when you're looking breakout player, I really think he's going to be wide receiver. But, like you guys said, Lynn Bowden Jr., I got to agree. He's interesting in the mix as well. Remember, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. Check out the website. What else we got? The group. The Raider Reaction Empire. The Dark Side. Click on the group tab. Check that shit out. And if you guys haven't checked out Raider Reaction Saturday Night Fights on Saturday night at 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern. The blood flows every Saturday night. And if you haven't checked it out, you really should. I'm just saying. It's entertaining. That's all I got to say. Pack your Saturday night with 4 solid fights. And we could go anywhere. But they make sure you check that out Saturday night. And don't forget, tomorrow morning, the RAIDER ReACTION morning show. We've got a very special presentation tomorrow morning. So don't forget. I don't want you to miss that. Something awesome that we've put together for you for tomorrow morning on the Hump Day edition of the RAIDER ReACTION morning show. So make sure you tune in tomorrow morning. I don't want you to miss it. 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Eastern. Start your day with some freaking silver and black awesomeness to get your shit going. Breakout player Mo Hurst, says Raider Ortiz. See, I didn't see anybody throwing up defensive guys in there. I saw Abram, but most people were talking about Mo had a turn. He turned it up a little last season, but he didn't have. I think him and Cleve Farrell got a little bit of a bum rap because you've seen guys like Max Crosby that kind of stole a little bit of the thunder. But the reason those guys were being successful is because the pushes, the whole as a whole was there. So, just what it is. We'll see. It's going to be interesting. I'm very excited about this season. Brian hit the nail on the head, man. To me, the breakout player of this season really should be Derek Carr. But like I said, I just don't think it's going to be, because I don't think if the Raiders are successful with the way that they've built this team on offense and the way that the offense that they've been running and the weapons that they've tried to add to run the offense that they've been running, I don't think for this team to be successful, Derek Carr has a season that is a statistical juggernaut. I don't think that's the formula for success. You don't want him going out there and throwing the ball all over the field and having to be that guy. You don't want him to be that. You want him to be the general, the field general out there. You want him to be the leader of men that we've been talking about for seasons that we want him to be. I think that's where you need DC4 to be this season for this team to be successful. I don't think you need him to be the guy that throws it all over the fucking field. I don't think that's this team, man. I don't think that's this team. Now, by adding the speed and the Henry Ruggs III and guys like that, Hunter Renfrow, guys that can take short passes and turn them into something big. Those are the types of guys you're adding to fit into this offensive scheme that you have. This fucking hybrid of a West Coast offense style, John Gruden offense, whatever you want to call it, the fucking Chucky style, whatever you want to fucking call it. I don't think Derek Carr, if you're doing that, I think the season has not went the direction you've wanted it to go with the personnel that you brought in. If you've now turned into we've got to get in a shootout. I don't think that's if you can develop a running game and you get Kansas City into a more of a physical game, a punch them in the mouth type game where you drag the score down, you chew clock, you sustain drives. If you drag the score down, the Chiefs are a beatable team. They're not unfucking beatable. They're not some fucking juggernaut. There's no team in the NFL. I mean, they had to pull off some fucking shit out of their ass to even make it to the Super Bowl last year. So they were definitely beatable and they were vulnerable. So I just don't think Derek Carr is going to be a breakout player this season and that's why. Stats. Now, possibly in the win column, because I do think this team, I have them picked at 11-5. I think this team, schedule-wise and talent-wise, has a real chance, because I do believe they sweep the AFC West, minus them games with the Chiefs. I I think both of those games are going to be very tough, just where they land. The road game is early in the season. I don't think that helps. It's nice that we don't have to go there and play in the fucking butt-ass freezing cold, but you're still... If the Chiefs come out strong out of the beginning of the gate, you're still playing a team that's riding off a little bit of Super Bowl hype that early in the season. And then coming around to week 11, you get them again, and you get them at home, and... well, we'll see. We'll see. The Chiefs games are my biggest concern. I do believe I have us picking to sweep the Chokers and the Donkeys this year. But my concern is I think the Chiefs are also going to sweep the Chokers and the Donkeys this year. So there's 4 division wins apiece, and I think it comes down to head-to-head with the Queefs for who takes the West. And I think they're going to get us in the regular season. I've said it. I think the Chiefs are something that the Raiders are going to have to vanquish in the playoffs. This isn't a team... I'm being real, man. This isn't a team that's going to falter. They haven't faltered over the last 2 seasons. Their quarterback's, won fucking everything over the past couple of years. And they're probably going to the playoffs this year. You've got to knock them out. You've got to take them off. And it'd be great if we can take the division crown from them, but I think it's going to be tough because I think they're going to be up at the 12-4, the 13-3 mark because their schedule is it's a little fucking marshmallow. It just is. Just being real. Just being real. So, it's getting late in the show. Thank you all for joining me. Those that have still stuck with me to the end. Fucking appreciate it as always. You guys hanging out with us here. Raider Reaction, especially on Tuesdays for the Raider Nation Report. I'm a little not myself tonight, so I appreciate those of you that stayed with me. I've been off the road. I don't feel quite myself because I've been on the road, driving 4+ hours after a day of work to get home this evening. So, but I did want to do the show because Tuesday nights are important. That I'm here Tuesday nights hanging out with you. So I wanted to get to that, but I want to get to this too. What? Yes. So I like to wrap up my show, or at least one of the last little segments of the show anyway, because, we got a couple of... God damn it. Quit! Fucker. What? A little segment that I like to call the WTF. Now, some of you may or may know, and some of you do know, most of you probably don't, because why the fuck would you? Unless I've said it on the show, which I don't know if I ever have. But I am a disc golfer. Not frisbee golf. Frisbee's something you play on the beach and you play catch with your fucking kids. I disc golf. Disc. I use discs. Drivers, mid-rangers, putters, floaters, rollers. Discs. I have a fucking bag, just like you fucking ball golfers with your fucking dipping little balls and your pleated shorts and your fucking collared shirts. I don't wear pleated shorts. I don't wear collared shirts to participate in fucking sports. I wear a tank top. I got my discs. Disc golf. So I'm a disc golfer. So there was some disc golf news, somewhat in the news today. Yesterday, or actually it was this weekend. Locally, there was a tournament. Somewhat of a local tournament took place at one of the local disc golf courses. And this gentleman, now, in the disc golf world, we have these guys that we call squids. And what squids are, they're not really disc golfers, but they are guys who go in and retrieve the said discs that we drive with, the drivers, that cost anywhere from $20 to $30 to $35 to $40 a piece, so you don't want to lose them bitches, and you get attached to them. I threw one in a fucking drink after I had 3 aces with that bitch. I was very unhappy. Not happy camper that I lost that motherfucker. Very unhappy. My name's on that. Somebody's got that bitch. But a squid is somebody that goes in and gets the discs out. Now, typically, what people do when they find a disc, because all of them are tagged and they're not cheap, like I said, they're $20, $25, $30, $40, $45 a piece, and you become very attached to them. So typically, it's a disc golf code. If you find one, you return it. Well, squids, like this gentleman go in and collect these discs that have all went in the drink of the water hazards on said courses and scrub the names off them, remove the names off of them, and take them and sell them as used discs to the local disc golf store. So if you lost yours, you can go back there and buy the motherfucker back again, which is just a fucking asshole fucking thing to do. Instead of just calling the motherfucker whose name and number is on the disc and giving it back to them. So this particular squid, who goes by the nickname Tank, who's known around, and he doesn't even play disc golf. This is just what he does. Apparently, I don't know. Maybe this is weed money, or this is how he gets his opiates. I don't know. I'm clearly speculating, but probably not that much. Maybe he's a drunk. Fuck, I don't know. But so there was a disc golf tournament, and like 128 participants. This is a small local tourney on a Saturday. So what's this guy do? Well, this local parks around here, there's a lot of water, a lot of fucking hazards. It's gonna be a shitload of discs in them motherfuckers. Possibly hundreds of dollars worth if you're gonna scrub them and go sell them used. Because it's a tournament, people are gonna be throwing high dollar nice plastic. So he's going in there to get them. So other guys are thinking the same thing. So if you're a real smart squid, you're gonna go out there early, right? Sure. So he goes out there. Granted, the parks in the area don't even open until 6 a.m. This asshole goes out at 5 a.m. Basically still in the fucking dark, just fucking early morning hours where it's still, you shouldn't be out fucking with wildlife. Well, this time of the year in local waters, there's alligators. And it's mating season. And you don't fuck around with them early in the morning. Well, yeah. So this dude who wanted to go in and make a few bucks off his discs, somebody else's discs, yeah, the alligator bit him on the fucking face. Now he's got lacerations on his face from an alligator. What the fuck, you dumb motherfucker? That's what you get. That's some karma right there. That's some disc golf karma. Fucking gator. And I tell you what, I am never ever going in a pond after a disc again because I've swam in way too many going after. And never again. One just popped up on my memories today of me about this far in going after one. Never again. Never. Yes. Bit him on the fucking face. Not grabbed his arm, grabbed a toe, leg. No, alligator. Bit him on the face. Face. What? All for a couple bucks, dude. I ain't going in diving for shit with gators. Fuck that. You're out your goddamn mind. Thank you for joining me, as always. I appreciate it. Thank you. We got off the road a little bit, and we tried to do the best we could. I'm fucking half-assed delirious. Been on the road all day, so I promise next time it'll be better. Oh, you son of a bitch, Lawrence. Until next time, I'm out. Thanks for joining me. Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, website. Join the group. Check out ReACTION Sports, our new page. All of that. That's what I'm saying, Alec. Insanity. Until next time, I'm out. Peace, love, RAIDER Nation.